Have you ever stopped to think about the power of the words that you speak or the words that have been spoken to you? Every day we engage in a countless number of conversations, whether they're lighthearted, they're serious, or some of them could just be so routine that we don't even notice them. But have you ever considered the fact that just maybe one of those conversations could completely change your life? And that's not an exaggeration, that is the truth. And here's a fact: 65% of the conversations that we have every single day are either stories or they're gossip. What that means is more than half of our interactions every single day, they're either spent telling stories of our experiences, or they're spent talking about other people. And most of the time we're just on autopilot, not realizing how deeply these interactions and these conversations can actually shape us or shape our lives. We're unaware at the impact that these conversations can have on our beliefs and our actions. But what if? And I mean, just what if? What if we actually became more intentional with all of our day-to-day interactions? You know, what if we use these interactions every single day as tools to shape and mold ourselves and all of the people around us? Welcome back to another episode of Sweat Talk. My name is Chad. The stories that we tell ourselves and other people every single day, they actually possess an unlimited amount of power. And I say that because every time we share a story, we're reinforcing a belief that we have about ourselves or about the world. If you're constantly telling stories that are about struggles and failures and limitations, then all you're doing is you are reinforcing a belief that is going to force you to see life through that perspective. Hello. On the other hand, if you share stories that are about triumphs and winning and perseverance, then you're going to be able to start seeing things as opportunities rather than obstacles. And these stories, they don't just affect how others see us, but they also affect how we see ourselves. So that makes me think about the most important conversation that we can have, and that's the conversation that we have with ourselves. Because that internal dialogue that you have, it can be your greatest ally, or it can be your absolute enemy. Think about the way that you talk to yourself. Think about the way that you view yourself. Are you constantly building yourself up and encouraging yourself, or are you always filling yourself with doubt and breaking yourself down, beating yourself down because you just don't feel like you're good enough? And most of us, we are way harsher with ourselves than we ever would be with somebody else. We replay our mistakes, we dwell on our failures, and we focus on all of the ways that we think that we fall short. You know, have you ever thought about the way that we speak to ourselves and how that actually shapes our reality? If your internal dialogue is filled with negativity or limitations, that is going to hold you back. But on the other side, if it's filled with positivity and encouragement, it's going to be able to propel you forward. What if you flip the script and you, instead of telling yourself that you're not capable or you're not good enough, you started to tell yourself that I'm capable of figuring this out. Instead of thinking that I'll never succeed, you start telling yourself or reminding yourself that every single step you take, you are one step closer to accomplishing your goals. Hello. The smallest shifts in your internal dialogue, dude, they can create huge changes over time. Have you ever actually taken a minute to think about where these beliefs that we have, where do they come from? Think about this. Just about every single belief that you have, whether it's your belief about success, relationships, money, your abilities, they were planted through conversation. Some of those things, they came from your parents when you were growing up. Others came from friends or experiences or the media that you consumed. But no matter where they came from, they were shaped and they were solidified by words. And you can change that. By intentionally choosing the words that you use both with yourself and with others, you have the ability to completely rewrite your narrative of your life. This is why our conversations are so powerful. They can either confirm our limiting beliefs or they can challenge them. They have the potential to do either. You know, just imagine somebody that's dismissing or criticizing your work. If you already doubt yourself, when they do that, when they challenge your ideas or your work, that can solidify a belief that you already have that's going to prevent you from taking any action. Now imagine the opposite. Somebody sees your potential and they actually tell you that you have what it takes to get it done. That one conversation, it could spark the confidence that it takes in order for you to be able to pursue your dreams. I preach about this all the time because words have weight, and they have the power and the ability to build us up or to break us down. And that's not just true for the conversations that we have with others, it's also true for the conversations that we have with ourselves. I guess the real question is how can you harness the power of conversation to benefit yourself in the future? It starts with awareness. Pay attention to your inner dialogue and the words that you use with others. When you catch yourself in that negative self-talk, just stop and reframe it. Remind yourself that you are a work in progress and that every step forward actually matters. Be mindful of the people that you choose to surround yourself with. Spend time with mentors and friends or even books or podcasts that are going to build you up and challenge your limiting beliefs. And anytime you're in a conversation, just remember that you have the power to be able to guide that conversation in a direction that's going to be constructive. If it starts to veer into gossip, then realize and understand that you have the ability to veer that conversation into something positive and meaningful. It really is that easy. You could share a story of growth, or you could just simply ask a thought-provoking question. And you also need to look at the fact that you can use conversations to impact other people. Every time you have a conversation with somebody, you have an opportunity right in front of you to encourage them or to inspire them. Like your words, they might be the ones that person remembers in a moment of doubt. All you have to do is think about a time when somebody said something to you that encouraged you to change and begin to see things through a different perspective. And now realize that you have that same ability to do that for somebody else. Life transformation, it doesn't happen through these grand gestures or life-altering situations. It doesn't have to. I think more often than not, it happens in small, seemingly ordinary ways, like the conversations that we have every single day. So imagine this: you're sitting down with a friend or a mentor, and they share something that completely shifts your perspective. It doesn't have to be some long conversation. It could be a simple sentence. Hell, it could possibly even be one single word. Those are the conversations that stick with us. Those are the ones that linger in our minds, and they reshape the way that we think about ourselves and the world. That's the power of a meaningful conversation. Every single spark has the ability to create a chain reaction of change. Now think about how you can create those moments for other people. How you can intentionally choose the words that you are using in your conversations. What kind of energy do you bring into your conversations? By speaking with purpose and choosing to uplift others with your conversations, you become the catalyst of change, or the catalyst of transformation. And that's not just for you, that's for every single person that you encounter. You don't have to wait for a life-changing conversation, because you can actually create it. Every single day is an opportunity to say something meaningful and listen with an open heart and plant those seeds of change, growth, and transformation. Remember, you are only one conversation away from a breakthrough, and treat every single word as if it can make a difference, because it truly can. If you made it this far, do me a favor and go down in the comments section and put that word conversation. Just that one word, conversation. We need to wake the hell up. We need to understand the power that's in our conversations and the way that they can transform our lives. There's opportunities in the conversations that we have that we don't even give credit for, because we're too stuck on autopilot, and sometimes we're just too busy thinking about what we're going to say next, rather than actually being present in that conversation. Think about the opportunities that you might have missed over the course of your life. I had a conversation that absolutely transformed my life. It was back when I was a plumber, and I went to a guy's house. He had a leak that was actually under the concrete. It was called a slab leak under his floor. And the conversation we had, it actually encouraged me to quit doing plumbing and to go find something else that had more of a future for me and my family. And the gentleman, he didn't even say anything. Like it wasn't really anything specifically that he said. It was just the overall conversation and what I took from it. So there's opportunities for success. There's opportunities to see other perspectives that you just simply never saw before. Our conversations are so powerful. Our words, they are so powerful, and we don't give them credit. We don't ever think about it. We just spit shit out of our mouth, willy-nilly. And we don't think about the emotion or the power or the impact that every single word that we use can possibly have on a person, whether it's ourselves or other people. And that's exactly why I ask for these words at the end of every single one of my videos, is because if we are going to change that script, if we are going to change that narrative in our minds, then we need to see something positive over and over so that we can reprogram our minds. Because that's exactly what needs to happen. We need to reprogram our beliefs. We need to get rid of those limiting beliefs, or we need to be able to find the strength to overcome them. Because we all have limiting beliefs. We all don't realize that we have the strength to overcome them. But then those one-word comments, they also help the channel grow. When the algorithm sees the comment, the like, and when somebody subscribes, then it's going to be more likely to push this content out to more people who might find value in it as well. I want to thank you guys for those super thanks that you keep giving me. It truly does mean the world to me, and I deeply appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it. I'm thankful for all the support that you guys are showing me and my family and this channel. I want to thank you guys for showing up. I hope that you guys are showing up for yourselves, and I hope that each and every one of you has a wonderful day. Peace.